Hi, Faye. Hi, Jackie. Oh, thanks, Alison. Hi, Jonathan. Hi, Trish. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I really wanted to do this before we got to the actual full moon. And hi, Larissa. Wow, from Canberra in Australia. I know we've got a lot on this evening that are stateside and Canada, so we are spanning the globe with rosiness today, and Netherlands as well. So I'm not too sure where Faye is at this point. She could be anywhere between here and Australia. So welcome, everybody. We are moving towards the full moon at 2 degrees of Aquarius, and as an Aquarian myself, I'm really aware of the energies. This feels to be a super potent moon. Well, they all have been this year, so it's actually it's about repeating the same thing. They've all been particularly special this year. It seems that the intensity is rising, and so it's all pulse points on our journey as we move through this year. And of course, we are heading, as we move through this particular full moon, we are heading towards the Lion's Gate, the 8-8 Lion's Gate energy. And so many people are speaking of this point as being another really big initiatory point for us as we navigate our way through these energies and actually get to a place of clarity as to where we individually are choosing to activate our energies, where we're choosing to be placement wise on the planet, but also where we are in ourselves. So this moon at 2 degrees of Aquarius, of course the sun is at 2 degrees of Leo. The sun and the moon are in opposite positions at the point of a full moon. So we've got this weave between Leo and the solar energy and the air that is the Aquarian energy. So this is a beautiful point of actually finding the Aquarian energy within us, this sort of inner rebel. And it's quite fascinating because Aquarian so wants to be the unique and the individual, but actually is so much involved with humanity and humanitarian aspects of our journey. So this point really feels to be calling us, what is it that is really that we feel passion for, that we feel connected to, and what is that piece that's calling us for inner change that is going to absolutely change our inner reality. There is something about the solar energy and Leo that almost calls for a phoenix from the ashes. It's like this alchemical fire that can transform and transmute the issues that we've been perhaps working through for quite some time. I know for me there's been many people from my past that have come present again in this last month, and asking us to have another look at what that connection was, what it is currently, and how it needs to be going forward, how we rest in that. So this moon is also calling us, a full moon is a culmination. A full moon brings closure, and it offers us the opportunity of letting go of perhaps something that has come full circle in our lives. And perhaps it could be an old thought pattern, an old behaviour pattern, perhaps a pattern of distraction that is calling you now to let it go, see it, let it go, and bring full focus to what it is that you're wanting to really work with going forward. We know that the heart is our attractor factor, and the heart is a magnetic organ. So it brings into our lives the people, the experiences and the opportunities for us to see in the screen of our lives, in the mirror, what it is that's wanting, what is calling for attention, and also where the light is shining, where the illumined path is for us that is taking us forward. So this is potent time in actually perhaps reviewing our relationship with ourselves. What is our self-talk? What is our connection with our inner truth? Do we hold to that, or do we betray? Do we betray what we truly know within us and within our gut wisdom? This is a point which offers us a place of this far and no further. And how do I wish to change? How do I wish to see my life going forward? What is my place of the visionary? We're all visionaries in our own lives. Do we take time to get still enough to connect in with our inner wisdom? Because whenever there is a question, there is always an answer. The answer is always known when the question arises. So do we take time to sit and listen to what's being shown us? And the other thing that came up, and has come up for me in this last couple of weeks, is this question of who am I? Am I the result of the program of my parents? Is there anything residual still running there? And interestingly, my granddaughter has started at Brownies and is super excited about her brownies and her brownie promise and so on. And I remembered that I actually have my brownie test card, or whatever it was, that dated back to quite a while ago, into the 60s. And it was just fascinating. I also found a Girl Guide, my first Girl Guide diary too. That was a fascinating read. So, what is the picture that we've brought forward from our childhood? What is our belief? What is, and is it true now? Is it true? And, who am I in this moment? And what is my higher soul self calling for? A perhaps recalibration, perhaps a reconnection to the soul imprint. What was our incarnational script this lifetime? Because I feel for so many of us, there has been a journey that has taken us out to explore all sorts of different facets of our journey here. But there is something about this particular point as we navigate our way through this second half of 2021 that is really calling us to be super clear. Really super clear. What is it I am here for now? What gifts have I been honing? What pieces of my story have I been healing? What am I conscious of that is still running? And am I going to show up to the contract that I made when I came in to this particular incarnation? Because for many of us, this last 18 months has been a real doozy. It's been a real challenge to actually stay here on the earth plane and stay present, not to get lost in distraction. It has stretched us. So let's see what the roses have got to offer us as wisdom as we come into this particular full moon in Aquarius. I think it's at about 3:36 tomorrow morning here in the UK. So it'll be about 10:36 EST this evening, your time. So these are potent times, and as I've said before when we've been doing these readings, the energies are always strongest when we're coming to the exactitude. The energies build as we come to the exact point of the opposition of the sun and the moon, and then it drops off. But there's a 3-day window of activation with either of the full or the new moons when the energies can be really felt. So, what else was I going to... the other thing I was going to say is yesterday, here in the Rosie Temple in the New Forest, we had our first live gathering circle for the last year, and we had a Magdalene Day gathering here yesterday. You can see some pictures on my personal Facebook page, but it was just so amazing to meet in person again with my beautiful Rose sisters, and to be in celebration of the story and the script that Mary Magdalene brings as a reminder of us, for us. And it's no happenstance, is it, that the rose is her vehicle. For many people, when they connect with the rose, they also connect with Mary Magdalene, or the higher aspect of Mary Magdalene's incarnational soul, which is Lady Nada. Many of you know that Lady Nada was the overlighting soul who guided the Rose Oracle and the writings into being. And it's always interesting when we gather as Rose sisters and hold that energy of this feminine frequency, this wise counsel and wisdom carrier, that the feminine energy, when it's anchored, embodied, brings as a sharing, as a gift, if you like. So there was some really rich sharings yesterday, and we got to go into the forest, down to the stream here, and also there's like a cathedral sanctuary in one area of the forest near me, and we were able to go with crystal bowls and to sound and feel the energy of the trees and the woodland responding to the pure crystalline tones of the crystal bowls. And I was very fortunate in that one of the Rose sisters that was with me yesterday had a Mary Magdalene bowl and a Christ bowl, and we were able to take those into a field of frequency and sound that was just exquisite. So, and Sam said he's sitting in the middle of a stream right now. You know, being anywhere connected to water, anywhere that's connected into nature, it really is deep nourishment for us at a cellular level. And yeah, anyway, let's see what the roses have got to offer us as wisdom and healing for this time. So the first rose is Rose Bagua 2. And Rose Bagua 2 is the rose of relationships in the Rose Bagua. And you will remember me saying that the Rose Bagua is a box of 9 squares. Each square has an aspect of our expression in the world. It's where the Rose Oracle moves from its verticality into a horizontal. What is my heartfelt expression in these different aspects of my life? And this particular beauty came to me on a pilgrimage path to Assisi. I was doing some work for a client in San Genesio, and outside the Little Ernesto, the guest house that I was staying in, was this beautiful rose. And what she says is, bring your attention to relationship. Bring your attention to the right relationship with yourself first. How deep are you prepared to go in your connection with the honoring of your truth and who you are? The rose that sits on the diagonal from this particular rose calls us into a connection with ourselves, which is know thyself and to thine own self be true. And that forms the root for the blossoming of this particular rose. This calling to right relationship and this know thyself and to thine own self be true means that we carry the truth of who we are through our voice, through our presence, through our frequency field, in all of our connection. And when I was saying that the heart is our magnetic organ, it's our attractor factor, whatever is in our heart and held as truth is what we radiate out into the world, and we magnetically attract those that we dance with, those that we come into connection with in our lives, those that come as a treasure. And treasure is an interesting word because there are those that we do absolutely treasure, and some of them come to bring us the biggest wake-up call of our lives. So this rose calls us into a reflection. And it's interesting, isn't it? On a full moon, the sun and the moon are in opposition. They're in a dance with one another. And the sun casts the light that is reflected from the moon. So relationship has come up very clearly in this particular point of our journey. So I just invite you to actually connect with her and connect with her in on the higher heart. So you could just place one hand on the higher heart and just breathe into that higher heart place and just feel and connect in. Just bring presence to yourself in this moment. Just have a little check-in and feel what's going on within you just now. Perhaps do a little scan down through your body. And you might, if you so wish, and you're aware of some tension in your body, some discomfort, breathe her in. Breathe her in. Perhaps see her in your heart, and then from the heart, breathe a stream of light on your out breath into the area where there is discomfort or pain. And just ask her for your help, for her help. This is the way to work with these roses. This was never meant as a divination oracle. This is an oracle for healing and for working energetically and with frequency to unlock the stories, unlock the places where we hold stories in the body that contract our energy field. And it's within the contraction of the energy field starts the predisposition for imbalances and health challenges. So let's have a look and see what the second rose is that wants to come this evening as a reminder. And we have Rose Ma 11. Now this rose has come up many times for us. She's a very pure frequency, has a strong connection to Swan. She's a rose called Madame Hardy. Unfortunately, I don't know the name of the rose for the first one. She was just calling my attention, as I say, when I was in Italy. This rose came from a beautiful rose garden in Hampshire called Mottisfont, which is an old walled garden with over 2,000 different rose types in it. Some of them are old French Bourbon roses, some of them are David Austin's. This one, as I say, is called Madame Hardy, and she was developed by a rosarian in the Luxembourg Gardens in Paris at the turn of the century called Alexander Hardy. And what I found fascinating is that so many of the rosarians, those that were passionate about the rose and developing the roses, crossbreeding from the roses that came from China on the tea clippers, they would interbreed them with the traditional French or English roses so that they would bloom over a long season, not just a one blooming time in May or June. So, as I say, this rose has got strong connection to Swan for me. She is very pure, and she says, I am protector. And so for me, in the purity of the heart, and this rose, as she is in the Rose Ma set, and the Rose Ma roses are embodiment roses. They all have an I am at the beginning of whatever they've come to share. It's an embodied frequency. And she says, I am protector. And for me, when we enter the purity of the heart, we need no other form of protection for ourselves, and also our light then shines to support and protect others while they go on their own journey. So she is a beauty to work with. So again, I invite you to put a hand on your higher heart and perhaps just connect in with her. She's really sweetly scented. And just feel her purity, feel her light entering into your heart. And just feel that energy expanding out through your body, down through your solar plexus, your navel, your hips, down to your knees, your ankles and your toes, up through your shoulders, down to your elbows, your wrists and your fingertips, and up through your throat, your jaw, your cheeks, your forehead, right up to your crown. And just bring your attention to the beat of your heart. And just know that with every beat of your heart, the wave of energy from this beautiful rose, Madame Hardy, goes right through your body. With every beat, she is reminding your body of its perfection at a cellular level. So she passes through each cell, kissing it awake, awakening the original blueprint for optimum well-being. She's a beautiful rose to call on if you're wishing to elevate your frequency, to just bring yourself back into a reset, into a high pure frequency energy. So let's see what the third rose is that wants to come and offer us some wisdom and guidance. So we've got another 11. So this is interesting. 11 is a master number. So we had Rose Angel 11. Sorry, Rose Ma 11. We've got Rose 11. And of course we've got Master Rose 2. And two ones are a 2. So this energy is really potent this evening. 11 is a really clear master number. So this rose sits on the heart. She's one of the original roses in the first set of the roses. She comes in the Rose 1 set. She sits on the heart chakra, and from awakening and activating the heart chakra, she moves to the crown, because the crown can only open to the degree that the heart is. All of our work is about the heart. This is the focus. This is why the work that I do is with the rose heart, which is for me the heart star, the higher heart that weaves the threefold flame of love, wisdom and power. This rose sits, she holds a really perfected energy, but you can see here that there's shadows here. And this shows for me that we're all still work in progress. And actually this golden radiance from the center of the heart actually dispels the shadow. And this is where we need to focus. And you'll see there's almost a dove that's on the top of here, and this amazing spin and almost a heart shape here. So she's a very beautiful, beautiful energy to work with. Also interesting that we've been working with 2 white roses too. There are very few white roses in the Oracle deck. And this rose really calls us to honor the gold, honor the golden heart field, honor this fact that we, as the human birth and the human journey is much revered. It is said that we beg for a human journey. Mind you, sometimes I could question that, but I do think that there is a truth that actually this is the place where the greatest opportunity is of polishing the diamond, polishing the energy, the soul in its incarnational pathway has the opportunity of refinement and to activate the golden heart and the golden light body. And I love this rose. She's a beauty. So I invite you to put your hand on your heart and perhaps invite this rose in to connect with you and feel the power of her energy. She is pure, she is highly charged. And if you bring your attention to your heart, you might like to just gently tap your crown, because the gold here is connected to the gold in the crown, which is connected to the gold in your soul star. And the soul star is the portal of personal Akasha, and it is the golden light that is your I am presence, your divine aspect. And the more activated the heart is, and the more activated the crown is, the more of your I Am presence is brought into action and incarnation, because the heart is prepared as a vessel to receive it. So you might like to sort of almost sense her flowering in your heart and let your heart field expand with her energy. And I'm going to place all 3 of our beautiful roses for this evening into this grandmother and apophyllite alchemy bowl. So we have Rose Bhagwatu calling us into the reflection of right relationship to ourselves, honouring ourselves and taking this journey of know thyself and to thine own self be true. Rosemar 11, I am protector. Remembering that when we work with purity and we work with right alignment, the field of frequency means there is no need for any other protection. And it means that we then are able to expand our field to be in protective service for others. R11, Rose 11, this radiant white gold of the heart and her connection to the crown, knowing that the heart is the chalice that receives the frequencies as they come down through the crown. So allow the frequencies of the crystal bowls and the air element bowl wanted to come this evening as well, as it is a full moon in Aquarius, an air sign. Oh, hi Julia. Thanks everybody. Thanks for coming and joining me, and I hope the rose energies will be of benefit for you. And I think it's really fascinating that this evening it's been red and white, and the red very much the connection to the Magdalene, and the white, I always see the Magdalene with red and green, and Mother Mary in pale blue and white. So it feels to me there was a really beautiful weave of the energies this evening. Oh, thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Maya. And yeah, I hope you enjoy these this full moon, and it definitely feels that it is a potent initiatory pathway that we're on right now, and if we bring full presence to it, we will get all the juice. We will be able to activate and work with the calling here. And yeah, it is, Maya. Lovely to connect. So, oh, just let me see what Ashley's just written, just a moment. Yeah, actually, while we're all together, could I ask you all just to send blessings to Ashley because she's in hospital right now, and she could really do with just some extra rosy blessings her way, so that everything runs smoothly and with grace and ease. So thank you. So thank you so much for joining me, and yeah, have a good weekend and work with that moon, work with the energies. Love and rosy blessings. Bye bye.